Hello everyone, welcome to Bayern Now, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. I apologize I didn't get this match reaction out to you yesterday when Bayern Munich beat Hoffenheim 4-3. It was a very interesting game. Actually, I was at school. I was in class when the game was happening, so I naturally blocked all notifications getting into my phone. I came and sat down on my chair, watched the first half all the way to the end. I think I'm ready to make a match reaction. So Bayern finally, Jesus Christ, that game was one of the weirdest experiences of my life, because from the first minutes, right, we looked a bit, kind of not low energy, but we looked like a team that had been playing very well, but we didn't enthuse ourselves, right? Boateng with the mistake early on. I actually thought Boateng played well. The own goal, but we responded so quickly. Alphonso Davies, man, geez, what a performance from him. David versus Goliath a la boom was absolutely intense, immense in the game. Alaba is becoming one of the best center backs in the world, because if you have that assist as a center back, you have to consider yourself as one of the best. So I thought Alaba was a Kimmich in midfield once again. Everyone knows I hate that. Yeah, and it didn't really work out, did it? Now look, Kimmich had an assist, but that was from a set piece. Again, man, the game. I'm happy. I'm happy we won. Happy for the result. I'm not happy for the way we played. Before I bore you with more talk, let's do the match reaction. Not match reaction. The player ratings before we get too bored. So Manuel Neuer was in goal. I should probably put Neuer's name here because it's just confusing to me. Neuer did have one good save, but I think from that save, we had a corner which he still conceded from. Neuer conceded 3 goals. I can't give him a 7 or an 8. He gets a 6. We won the game, and that's all that matters. It wasn't his fault. Nothing was anyone's fault, right? This was one of those games. Pavard, I'm going to give Pavard a 3. I'm sorry, all right? For me, I'll give him a 4 because we won the game. But the amount of times where Pavard had the ball here, I told you this. Pavard is not good at anything. He is okay at everything. Like, Kimmich is an excellent crosser, excellent attacker, not the best defensively, but he'll give you his all attacking wise. Pavard will not. He doesn't have the footballing IQ to be able to take the attacking game into his hands. He's not brilliant defensively because we still conceded a bunch of goals, some which came from his side, right? Pavard was not incredibly brilliant in this game, but I think that he wasn't the worst player on the pitch. And my mother decides to blend things only when I'm live streaming. She did this. I was recording a video for some other things, and she was doing this too. Boateng, I have to give Boateng a 7. I thought, Boateng conceded an own goal, but the tackles he was putting in, superb. I thought Boateng read the game well. I think the losing of 14 pounds that he lost really, really helped him, because now he looks a lot sharper on his feet. Alaba, 9. I mean, Alaba was involved in every goal, I think. No, 2. He was directly involved in Muller's goal, which was a superb, a really good ball to Muller, and Muller tucks it in. Great finish from Thomas Muller, but Alaba has the confidence to do that. He bombed down the left-hand side so many times. Alaba can do that. Davies gets a 9. I mean, geez, this kid he got the assist for the cross that was an own goal, but a superb cross. If Muller touches that, it goes anywhere but into the net. It was a fantastic play from Davies, and there was so many moments where he was dancing in the box. He was Cinderella, Alphonso Cinderella Davies. The kid is really becoming the best left back in the world. I'm pushing the agenda. Joshua Kimmich, I'm gonna move to my face here. Kimmich is not a good midfielder. Can we freaking start acknowledging that? I told you this. Look, he did the simple stuff, right? That's what Kimmich is in midfield. He does the simple stuff. But at Bayern Munich, where I've seen Bastian Schweinsteiger was bossing the best teams in the world in that midfield. Kimmich is not doing that. THIAGO has been bossing teams for 6 years in the midfield. Kimmich is not reminding me of those players. I have to compare what we have now to what we had. That's why I'm so hard on Pavard. Well, that's why I criticize Pavard. Because looking at it back, we had way better players than Benjamin Pavard. We had the best right back of all time, Philippe Lampost, he was a defensive wall. He was the bright light in the team, the captain, the greatest right back of all time. That's who we had in the Pavard position. Who do we have now? We have a French guy with curly hair who can't cross, can't defend, can't pass. He can't do anything exceptionally well. I'm telling you. Of course, a lot of you might be like, oh, Pavard did okay, he crossed the ball. But how many crosses were actually dangerous? So I keep telling you this. Kimmich is a liability in midfield. If Kimmich was a house, he would be that house that keeps getting hit every day and keeps going down in value. Every time we play Kimmich in midfield, he's a liability. But he wasn't actually that terrible. I'm just saying he's a better right back. He's the best right back in the world on his day. Kimmich gets a 7. Imagine the winger fullback duo of Alphonso Davies, Kimmich, Alaba at the back, and Boateng. And to cover for them is Lucas Hernandez. That's who we need. So Kimmich gets a 7. Corentin Tolisso, he did not really affect the game that much, nor did he do anything terrible. He lost the ball a few times, made a few stupid passes, a few stray passes. That's always going to happen to someone who's trying to regain his form. Tolisso gets a solid 7. Thomas Muller gets an 8. I thought Muller was good, making the runs. Again, man, I don't even know what position Muller was. I think he was a midfielder, but the guy was everywhere once again. He's always everywhere. Muller is the N'Golo Kante of midfield of attacking midfielders because Muller is everywhere. I love the guy. Gnabry gets a 2. I'm sorry. Serge Gnabry gets a 2 out of 10. That is the worst rating I've ever given a Bayern player. Pavard was going to get that, but I realized in my head Pavard was not as terrible as Gnabry. The amount of things, even chances, Gnabry had a lot of good chances today. Well, yesterday technically. Didn't take any of them. And on top of that, he does this thing where he is dangerous for 1 second and then he goes missing for 10 minutes and then he's dangerous again. That's not what we need. Ian Robben was always a threat with the ball at his feet. I'm angry. This is the game for Serge Gnabry, the exact type of game where the defense is a bit open. You should be going at them. There was a moment where he was pushing out at their center back. Don't know if he was scared, but he decided to pass it back. He's trying things, but he's not affecting and taking the game into his hands. When we're playing Chelsea in 2 weeks' time, I want to see a bit more effort from Gnabry. I want to see that. The team is playing so well. I thought Gnabry was a 2. He was a 2 out of 10 today. Serge Gnabry got a 2 from me. I'm sorry. Let me know in the comments what you think, but Serge Gnabry is definitely a 2. Robert Lewandowski, Lewandowski, will always score you goals, but I don't think Lewandowski had one of his best games, and I'm a fan saying that. I gave Gnabry a 2. Even though I'm a fan, I'm a real person. I actually have genuine opinions. I thought Lewandowski missed so many chances today. It was actually funny. There was a great header he had where he did score 2 headers, right? Which is great. But then the chance where he had the ball at his chest, goalkeeper is basically beaten if you just shoot it anywhere but at him. He shot it at him. Lewandowski had a few chances today, but he scored 2 goals in the round of 16 in the DFB Cup. So it's alright. He won the game, but what if Hoffenheim had the balls to score just 1 more goal and we're in a situation where we're going to penalties probably? Coutinho, a 3. I'm sorry, what did this guy do for the 90 minutes he played? Coutinho was just walking on the pitch. I didn't see anything that told me, oh wow, that's a great player. No, Coutinho was just, it's so frustrating because you know how good he can be, but he was so woeful. Coutinho did not affect the game. He didn't try to link up with Davies. He was always trying to come inside. He didn't take anyone on or do any silky skill moves. Of course, it's a bad day for our forwards. Even Lewandowski had a bad game, but that is my match ratings. Joshua ZIRKZEE comes on. I give ZIRKZEE a 7. I think that the kid has potential. First 20 seconds, he gets the ball, gets 1v1 versus goalkeeper, misses, great save from the goalkeeper. Who else came on? We had Odriozola, who came on, had a flat 5 game. He wasn't inspiring. He didn't make me want to play him more. He didn't do anything for me. I don't know who else came on because they're kind of irrelevant at this point. But I think that's it. Man of the match for me has to be Alaba. Alaba was MOTM, man of the match. I think David Alaba was so superb. He controlled the game. I don't understand what is wrong with Alaba. He becomes one of the best left backs in the world after playing midfield. He becomes one of the best center backs in the world after playing center back. I'm sorry, the form he's in now, he's the best center back, one of the best center backs in the world. Look at Van Dijk. That's what Van Dijk does. Alaba, there were so many moments where they tried to take him on. The pace is there. The little nice body balance to stop the attacker. It was so superb from Alaba. That is my man of the match. Alphonso Davies, Muller were all competitors for it as well. But Alaba, boom, David and Goliath. Alaba was my man of the match. I think Alaba is the best, one of the best center backs in the world. I'm sorry, I don't know who else can compete with him. There's not that many center backs that you can say are playing football at the moment that are better than Alaba and Van Dijk and all these guys, right? Now, of course, you'll say, oh, it matters in big games, but you know the amount of games where we've seen Alaba play. Even if he has a bad game versus Chelsea, he still cemented himself just by his form at center back. He's done so well. He's winning headers, man, against strikers that are 6 foot and above because he's so intelligent. Alaba, you know you're an intelligent footballer when you can play anywhere and give your team a 9 out of 10 even. Yesterday Alaba was a 9 out of 10. He had a superb game. Alphonso Davies too. I don't think we should drop Davies. I know Lucas Hernandez is back, but people have this misconception in their head that just because Davies is a young kid, we should drop him for Lucas Hernandez, who's probably going to get injured a few games after we play him. Everyone knows my position on Lucas Hernandez. I love Hernandez. I think he could be one of the best center backs of all time because he's really young. He has all the traits that you need in the modern game. He reads the game well, but he has that injury history, that goddamn injury history. Have you seen the amount of injuries this guy picks up a season? This is not new. He came back from injury, right? And guess what? The guy didn't care about his body. So he went on to play with France on the international break when Bayern advised him not to. Bayern even threatened to hold him against it. And he went to France, right? And probably practiced or probably did something. And it strained his ankle. And he's injured with his ankle. Needed surgery. He's needed knee surgery, ankle surgery. I don't know how we bought him. But I think he could be a great player. But for now, Alaba is doing superbly at center back. Why move him back to left back? Davies is one of the best left backs in the world already, playing left back right now. Why would you then move him out of position? People think you should move Davies to wing. Yeah, sure, give Davies a chance to wing. But why? Why? I'm not in a rush. I have one of the best left backs in the world playing left back, making tackles, making assists now. I mean, the guy had so many. He was one of our best players on the pitch yesterday, despite playing on Sunday. What was this Sunday? No, he played on Saturday and now Wednesday, 4 days apart. Davies had a 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10 performance. I did say he didn't play the best last game, right? He was a bit sloppy, but so was half our team for 60 minutes of that game. So this game was a bit more complete. We controlled the game, but we did not control the scoreline. That's the problem, right? Bayern will always control the game. That's what we do. We control the game against any team. Barcelona, Real Madrid, we always control the game. We always take it into our hands to have the ball and to try and control how the game goes. But we don't control the scoreline. The scoreline is controlled by who scores the most goals. And it so happens that our opposition know how to deal with us. It's not like if you defend only against us, you'll win. No, we are very good at playing 1-2s. We are very good at movement. You could see, it's so nice watching. I have fun now. Like under Kovac, it was slow. The movement from the forwards wasn't there. It was almost always individual brilliance to do something. But now we're moving. The movement is so fluid. And also, under Kovac, there was talk that the 4-3-3 would never work at Bayern. We played a 4-3-3 with 3 false midfielders. Well, 2 false midfielders, MULLER and KIMMICH. And guess what? We bust that game. We did a job on them. It doesn't matter who you have in those positions as long as you have the same system. Hansi Flick is a brilliant man. Don't get it twisted. Hansi Flick is a brilliant guy. He worked as a sporting director for the German national team before the World Cup, assistant manager that too. He's also been a manager, and I've looked at his history. I do my research. The team he was managing was some team in, I think, the third Bundesliga. I'm not sure who they were, but if you look at Hansi Flick and the results he was picking up results in games, in cup matches, beating teams like 4-0. He scores goals, and he looks like he's a good coach with a good philosophy. Bayern should buy Martin Odegaard and loan back Coutinho. Yeah, not loan back. I just give Coutinho back to Barcelona. I mean, loan back Coutinho. No, I'm bored of the Coutinho train now. Look, I said this in January. I said if we want to keep Coutinho, now it's time for him. We don't need Haaland. We don't need a Kimmich. We don't need every player Dortmund have. Okay, we don't. But I did say it in the summer that in order for Bayern to be in a position where we can really say we're ready, we need to have Kimmich back playing right back, and we need to have THIAGO. We need to keep THIAGO. There's talk out that THIAGO might go to Barcelona. That's BS. THIAGO is going to stay. If THIAGO doesn't stay, I'll delete this channel. If THIAGO is not signed a contract by the end of the summer and a club buys him, I will delete this channel. You can all call me a fraud, but THIAGO is staying. There's no way they sell THIAGO. There's actually no way. We just hit 5 likes on the video. Thank you so much for liking the video. So important. Like and subscribe as well. I apologize. I have not been consistent on this. It's because I forget. I actually genuinely forget. I have a reminder now to make streams for you. I love doing this because no one else wants to. No, seriously. Jeez, what a game yesterday. The same things. I keep telling this coach the same things. Hansi Flick, stop playing Kimmich in midfield. I don't care if Kimmich thinks he's the German Xavi. He's not. Kimmich is a great passer of the ball. He's a great crosser. He has a fantastic engine. Covered some of the most ground last season in the Bundesliga. Play him where he was playing, where he got that good. Play him at right back. There's this conception that if we don't have Kimmich, we don't win games. We will win games. Gnabry, worst player on the night. I'm dreading Chelsea now. If anyone wants to see my player ratings, here they are. Those are my player ratings. I gave Alaba a 9, man of the match for me. He was a fantastic Alaba, man. Best center back in the world right now. Well, one of the best center backs in the world. I'm not that arrogant, but Davies, one of the best left backs. Bayern should get a new center back. Boateng sucks. I mean, Boateng scored an own goal, but he actually had a decent game, which is why I gave him a 7. I mean, I only do that if you have... I hate Boateng at the club, because the more he is here, playing and having dreadful performances, the more people forget who he was, what his legend status brings. Boateng, for me, needs to move on so he can maintain his legendary status, because the guy has won every trophy at Bayern, and we want to keep it that way. We want to have the relationship with him. He has high wages, which no one wants to pay, and at the same time, he doesn't want to move. I think he likes staying at Bayern, but he's sacrificing his legendary status. But I think Boateng played well yesterday. Obviously, we conceded 2 goals. Pavard. Honestly, Gnabry wasn't that bad. He did well to create chances with his dribbling. He just wasn't clinical or active enough. You just proved my point. I get, okay, Gnabry wasn't that bad. Okay, well, I'll tell you this. The reason I support this club, is because of some bald Dutch guy, Arjen Robben, right? Arjen Robben's my favorite player of all time. You know, if Arjen Robben had a bad game, you look at the stats and say, oh, well, he still created chances. He put in loads of crosses. He was on the ball a lot. Oh, wow, he had lots of touches. Oh, he scored 1 goal. Oh, he had 1 assist. That's a bad game for Arjen Robben, right? That's what sometimes you get. But Serge Gnabry's bad game is it's like he's not involved in the play. Coutinho needs motivation or something. That's true, but what motivation now? I mean, everyone in the team wants to succeed. Everyone wants to prove themselves. That's your only motivation. But why isn't Coutinho taking the game He scored 3 goals and 2 assists in one match. My question to Coutinho is, how do you do that for 1 week, and then the next week you've just forgotten how to play football? How? And look, I love. Everyone knows I love technical, players. That's why I love THIAGO. He's one of my. I have a shirt with THIAGO's number on it because I love THIAGO. THIAGO is one of my favorite players in the world. Favorite midfielder in the world, one of my favorite players in the world at the moment, right? THIAGO is so technical, like Coutinho, but what THIAGO brings is hard work and energy. Coutinho is either very, very good on the night, or he's just faded out of the game. Him and Gnabry might as well have just been playing hide and seek, because I couldn't see them the entire time. They were basically gone. I could have been counting from 1 to 0, opened my eyes, and I couldn't have seen Coutinho and Gnabry because they were non-existent that game. Gnabry does this thing where he goes hiding sometimes. He's like Robin. Robin would want the ball everywhere to try and make something happen. Now it's making me miss. Not everyone is 29-year-old Iron Robin. You just need some patience for a 24 who just came back from an injury. That is true. I need patience, but you can't tell me Gnabry was good. And it's my club. I love this club, and I can't. Iron Robin, 34 years old last season, would have done a better job in that game. I think that Gnabry, it's a psychological issue, right? He thinks if he tries to do the same things, he might get injured. Pavard sometimes has good games, then disappears. That's true. Pavard's good games always come against teams that aren't pressuring him. Look at the goal we conceded, where Neuer pummeled the ball out to Pavard. I forgot about that. Neuer put the ball out to Pavard. At the moment, I was like, dang, Neuer, you bastard, you're so arrogant, cocky, I love it. And then Pavard loses the ball. Not Pavard's fault, but with if Kimmich was there, Kimmich would have just taken a touch, La Croqueta around the player and just pummeled a 50-yard pass to Lewandowski, who's going to run in behind. Because Kimmich has actually done things like that. So Pavard he's not going to do that for us. He's never going to do that for us. Back to the Iron Robin comparison. I have to compare him to who we had. Robin would come back from an injury and he would play the exact same way. Of course, that's unfair on Gnabry, and I shouldn't do that. But I want us to win. I want my club to win. If a player is playing terribly, I'll say it. Gnabry was trash yesterday, and after that Tottenham game, I'm going to make a bold statement. Gnabry is having a worse season this year than he did last year, apart from the Tottenham game. That was the one game where I said, oh, that's Gnabry, right? Apart from that game, Gnabry this season has been non-existent. Kingsley Coman, our wingers have been non-existent. Our only winger who's actually done things is Thomas Moulinho. Guess what? He's actually a midfielder now. Muller isn't even a winger, and he's doing a better job. Beginning of this season, Gnabry started doing this thing where he just started trying to shoot from every position, trying to emulate Iron Robin, which I would too. But there were so many opportunities for him to slide people through, and he'd forget that that's what Gnabry was so good at last season. He would just take the ball, take a bunch of players on, and then find Lewandowski, find Muller, find someone else, find Coman, find Kimmich. And now this season, obviously with Kimmich moving out of the right back position, Gnabry's old hair is better. Yes, it's true, because maybe it could be one of those where your hair is what determines if you played well or not. But Tolisso, let's talk about Tolisso. I've said it. Tolisso, for me, he's not been himself since the injury. I mean, ACL tear is one of the most scary injuries because it basically changes the whole complexion of how you play. You are always scared of getting that same injury because it's so long. People don't realize when footballers get an injury. I got an injury a couple months back in the season while playing. I came back in 2 days. It was a pretty serious injury, right? I couldn't walk very comfortably. I was back in 2 days. Well, it was like 4 days, but let's just say 2 days. I was back in 4 days because I was constantly focusing on coming back as quick as I could. And it's a psychological issue because you're thinking, what if I don't come back when I'm supposed to? What if I try to run again and then I'm injured for more? Will I ever play football again? People think it's so easy, you just work out and you're back. No, sometimes you get bored because you're sitting there hoping you could be playing. Perisic is probably sitting at home yesterday, watching by his teammates get destroyed and say, "Oh, I could have been in that Coutinho position." Also, another thing I did not like is Lucas coming back for RB Leipzig. So apparently Boateng injured his back, which is what a waste of time to be injuring your back right now. So apparently Boateng had a little issue on his back. So Lucas Hernandez could be back, which means that we'll have a back line of Lucas Hernandez, David Alaba, David and Goliath, David versus Goliath a la boom, that's his name, right? David Alaba and Alphonso Davies, which is 3 left footers, and then Pavard. Everyone knows that I love Kimmich at right back. I loved Kimmich last season. Kimmich was my favorite. I was always defending him, saying he's the best right back in the world because he was last season. People say Alexander Arnold, but he's 10 days. Alexander Arnold. No, Alexander Arnold, he's crap. He can't defend. Kimmich was so good last season, and now he's playing midfield because he wants to. Why don't we just go back to THIAGO, Goretzka, and Tolisso? Let's try that, man. Let's try that. But I'm so tired of this Kimmich midfield thing. I hope it ends. I genuinely want it to end. Unless we buy Hakimi, right, and Barcelona pay up for Kimmich and THIAGO. Because if THIAGO is going to be sold, I want Kimmich sold too. Because Kimmich is worse than THIAGO, and Kimmich will probably sell for more. Simple as that. Left wing, I don't even want to talk about SANE anymore. He's going to sign for us, but it's been a long saga. It's been really long. It's been really, really long. I'm tired of this. I could go to sleep now. This SANE thing is boring. It's been boring since it began. I thought SANE would be a Bayern player by now, playing against Chelsea, bossing it. But yeah, so thank you everyone so much for watching. I think that is the end of this stream. I really, really did enjoy doing this. I'm so sorry I got this out a day later. But who do we play? We play RB Leipzig. I still can think Leipzig, we're not going to win. You know what? No, we are going to win the league. We're going to win. Oh, shoot. I totally forgot to mention. Leipzig and Dortmund got out on the same day to terrible teams. Leipzig lost like 3-2-1 or something like that. And Dortmund lost 3-2. It was crazy. You know what weirds me about Dortmund is that they played a bunch of youngsters in that game. How do you play youngsters in a cup that you're not sure of winning? If Dortmund want to be a big club, they would put their best 11 in a game they're not sure about and win it. But Dortmund did not win it. They didn't treat it like a cup final. We treated it like a cup final. Buy Sancho? Hell no. Sancho is still... How can we buy a player that's in Alphonso Davies' pocket? That's just a really, it's not very, very interesting. No, we can't buy a player while they're in someone's pocket. That's literally pocket change essentially. So did Madrid and Barca? Yes, they both lost. It's very weird. So now you're telling me that, I don't understand it though. Real Madrid is Real Madrid were at home too. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Odegaard. Wait, I thought Odegaard moved to Leipzig. Wait, who moved to Leipzig recently? Can anyone tell me that? I was convinced Odegaard moved to RB Leipzig. Who moved to Leipzig? I thought it was Odegaard from the Spaniard guy, Martin Odegaard. I thought the Norwegian. Wait, no. Am I thinking of someone else? Someone else moved to Leipzig. Yeah, I thought it was Odegaard. Someone mentioned in the comments we should buy Odegaard. Cup competitions are alive. Yeah, that's true. It's going to be weirdly interesting to see who wins Copa del Rey. We're going to win the DFB Cup. If we don't win that, with the teams left, we must just be the... Do we have who we're playing next? Do we have the 4th round? Nope, the fixtures aren't out yet, but the 3rd round, I love this because there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams left. So it's quarterfinals. So we're into the quarterfinals. I literally put it in the title. Oh, Olmo, yes. Was it Danny Olm? I don't know. Yes. Yeah, so Odegaard would make sense. I thought you were saying we should get Olmo, and I confused them two because they play the same. They look the same as well. So okay, you're telling me we're into the quarterfinals. Union Berlin. It could be Bayer Leverkusen. It could be some team called Scherbrücken. I don't care. We could be Werder Bremen. So Dortmund lost to Werder Bremen. We destroyed Werder Bremen. Schalke, Hertha Berlin with all their good players lost 3-2 to Schalke, and RB Leipzig lost to Eintracht Frankfurt. And I don't want to play. You know what? Actually, bring on Schalke and Frankfurt. I want to get them out of the way because there's no other team here that I look at and say they can beat us. So Havertz. Oh no, Havertz is gonna cost a lot of money. I wouldn't mind him. I think he's very good, and he could be one of the best midfielders in Germany in a few seasons. But 100 million for a 20-year-old. Wouldn't I just rather buy Ziyech? Ziyech would go for like 40 million. Ziyech could have gone for 25 million if we bought him. He had a release clause. Ziyech would have been perfect, and I think he wanted to come to Bayern too, but we delayed and didn't buy him. If we bought Ziyech instead of Coutinho, Ziyech plays his right wing as well, and he can play in the well, he mainly plays in the middle. Great passer, great finisher, and big game player. No, Frankfurt in the final for revenge. Revenge? I mean, what revenge? It was a pretty relevant cup that they won when we weren't really that. We were still. I don't know. I don't think I care about this cup. I know. It's almost like it's a big cup in Germany, right? The teams that love it are the teams that don't get to be in it every year. Like if a Union Berlin wins it, it's like their greatest accomplishment ever. But we win it every other year. We are always in the favorites to win every trophy in Germany. What I care about most importantly is consistency in Europe. I care about the Champions League. Oh no, wow, he cares about the Champions League. Yes, because it's the most entertaining and I get to brag about it the most. It's not fun when we win the league every year and that's the only thing. Like, you need something else. Like, if we get to the Champions League semifinals, I say hand over Hansi Flick 300 million, tell him you're getting to stay for 2 more seasons, and you can get SANE, you can get whatever, you can even get Mbappe for 300 million. I don't care, okay? As long as we win that Champions League trophy in the next few years, I'm absolutely content with that. So, yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Mia San Mia, and peace. Super Bayern, hey, hey, hey.